Polo, and if you see that coming round, anyway, the Mini, what can we say about the Mini that's not been said before? They were just an ordinary car, weren't they, until Paddy Hopkins got hold of it and started making them into 1275 GTs, and he was running the Monte Carlo with them. But then we got the Mini Club, and you know, see the blue one at the back's got the Club Run front on it. But they really were a turning point in motoring history, weren't they? We stuck with the original prop shaft and rear rail drive all for many, many years, and Alex Ciccione's turned everything on its head. Put the engine sideways, drove it through drive shafts on the front wheels, no prop shaft, so things should be a bit lower, and then we had problems with hydroelastic suspensions, didn't we, and lots of bits and bobs. Sorted it out over the years, so much so that the 1100 came next, then the Maxi, the 1800, the Ambassador, and all built off the same idea. Tremendous, tremendous machine, the Mini, so good that BMW copied it. Still prefer the originals, thank you very much. But get one of them resprayed, because I ain't buying a pair of them. No way. No. They're all like roller skates, aren't they? Wonderful, wonderful thing. Well, I've got to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of the new Land Rovers, Range Rovers. I really am not. But the original Range Rovers were very prone. When anything new comes out, my old fellow once told me when I was buying a motorbike, don't buy a new design. Let somebody else have the trouble with it, and then 2 or 3 years later, then buy it. And that was the same with the original Range Rover. It was a total change of complex from a workaday Land Rover to something that you go out to a restaurant in and go out in. But everybody loved them, didn't they? If you could make tailgates for a Mark 1 Ranger, you'd make a fortune, because they're rustling away like crazy. But look at this one. This young man's changed it quite a bit. Look at the colour of that. It's absolute. It's beautiful. What a lovely motor. I'll scrounge it and look at it. Well, the MGA. Just after the war, we were trying to come up with a sports car for the working man. We're producing the Morris Minor, the Austin A30, then the 35, and we started to look, can we find any bits that we can make sports cars out of? Well, I'll not mention Donald Healy at the moment, but the MGA was a revelation. Built up a lot on A35 and Morris 1000 bits, and rocket ship. It really was. Everybody loved them, and this one's owned by a good friend of ours, Robert. He's even swanking now with his new cover on it. Look at that, eh? Keep you. I tell you what, Robert, you bought it at the wrong time, pal. You don't need one these days. Bless you, young man. Lovely. And notice those wheels. Those are the original wheels that came out with an MGA. MGBs, you'll notice. I'll talk to you when we see one. Now, I've got a right pair here. A right pair in front of me. We talked about the Mini, didn't we? And the Roots group had got to come up with something that compete with the Mini. So they built a plant at Linwood up there near Paisley in Scotland, and they both built the Hillman Imp. Very troublesome to start with. They were one of the first cars to have automatic choke on them, but eventually got it right, and then they went up version, didn't they? They already owned Singer, so they put the Singer name on it and called it the Singer Chamois, and that's what you've got here. It belongs to Mike Cheetham, and it's lovely, absolutely lovely, the car. Bless you, Paul. Bless you, Mike. Paul was 1965. Paul was Mike's brother, who sadly is not with us again. Now, how you doing? You know this guy? He's had more cars than I've had shirts, and I never know which one he's got on. But the Volkswagen Beetle has been with us forever, hasn't it? And then we brought out this beautiful thing, the Volkswagen Carmen gear. Well, Carmen were a body design shop in Germany, and they designed and built this, still with the same engine in the back. Sold thousands to the States. They really were popular over there. And when you get a nice one, this is not bad, that is it? Trouble. Look at that, beautiful Carmen gear. GVO, Nottinghamshire Reg, about 71, somewhere around there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a little bit special. I noticed this car down at Elverston Steam Rally a few weeks ago and spoke to the young gentleman and asked him if he'd bring it to Cromford. It is absolutely beautiful. Built in 1951. You know what they say about Rolls Royce? If you can hear it, there's something wrong with it. Can you hear that? It's absolutely beautiful. Straight 6-cylinder petrol engine in it. You don't go thrashing about with these things. 40, 50 mile an hour. More than adequate. Absolutely beautiful. Notice the Sphinx on the bonnet. Absolutely love it. And it's not my choice, but I certainly don't disagree with it. He's won the best post-war vintage shield. So, it's well deserved, and look after it. Let us have it back next year. But well done, you thoroughly deserve it. Bless you. That is lovely. Now, what is the knot? You say it's not a convertible. Isn't that lovely? Now, again, I love these just as much because, hang on a minute, what's going wrong here? It's what? Where's the other one? Poorly? What's wrong with it? Just bright side, it's not costing you petrol. Well, this young lady and gentleman, MG about fuel, very much into sports cars, but believe it or not, they did make a few saloon cars early on, the YB and so others. And this is the Magnet. You see one or two of these? Any of you people watch the detective programs on? What is it? Father Brown? One or two in one of them? You'll see one of these in there. A nice one. And this one's a nice one. It's always ongoing. Nice to see it. Then what year is that? 1950? Sorry? 58. Beautiful thing. Thank you very much, young man. I'll push you on now. Oh dear. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Look, you're not coming in here with your big posh motor. Is it taxed and insured? Have you got a licence? I can say these things because this guy's a good friend of mine. I was only talking about these the other day. Anybody notice the lozenge on the front, the Rolls Royce? Well, after 1930, they became black. So prior to that, they were red. And the story is, depending who you talk to, some say it was because Henry Royce was killed in an aeroplane crash, and his mate died of natural causes about the same time. It wasn't that at all. If you look at this one, it's all black. They did start in the 30s to make them two-tone. Black and maroon, black and dark blue, black and yellow. And people they thought there was too much black, so they thought if it too much red on them when they were red, so they changed it to black. But this was the Lord Mayor's car of Rutherford. Leeds, if I remember rightly. Went down your road, pal. Now, here we are, look. Man, look. If you look at his lozenge, it's red. This is absolutely... I just admire this gentleman so much, because when he bought this some years ago, it didn't look anything like that. It really didn't. He's worked at it over the years, got the body up to shape, got it running well, and as nice as what you'd ever get. 1929. Absolutely stunning. I was doing a restoration project a couple of years back and went into a headlight specialist in Sheffield, and he'd got a couple of these on the bench, and they'd got the toast rack grill on the front, as we call them. And I said to him, "Crikey, they're nice." I said, "I don't touch them, they're expensive." I says, "What's expensive?" And then $3.5 grand a piece for headlights. So, God bless you, my friend. Absolutely beautiful and lovely to see you. Is he behaving himself? Just about. That'll do me. Look after yourself, Paul. Love it to bits. I always look for a few cars when I come to Cromford